So this live is dedicated to my mother, of course, and of course all mothers as well. So y'all come on in again. Make sure you hit the share button as you're coming in, and also make sure you say hello as well. So say hello, hit the share button, and of course, as we're going through this, make sure you give me some thumbs and some hearts and all that other good stuff. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna keep you long, and I don't mean that in the Baptist preacher way, which usually means 45 minutes. That's not what I mean. I'm not gonna keep you long, actually. But today I want to talk about 3 things that mothers taught us about money. 3 things that mothers taught us about money, and these 3 things are things that we need to continue to remember and do, because I think sometimes we forget some of these wonderful lessons that our mothers taught us. So and I hope your mothers taught you these too. I'm sure if you watched or paid attention, or if they said it or didn't say it, that you learned these things or noticed them from your mother, your grandmother, or whomever. What's up? Hey, Latasha, how you doing? Derek, how you doing? Again, as you come in, say hello. And then got that red Kool-Aid, all right. And then guys, make sure you hit that share button as well. Greg, that's funny. Get that red Kool-Aid. See, we didn't drink. Yeah, we did drink red Kool-Aid. I'm not gonna even front. We did. So, all right, y'all. So 3 things that we learned from our mothers, what Mama taught us about money. Again, for those who don't know, I'm Winfred Burns II. They call me the money mentor. I am here to, my job, my goal is to help you to eliminate debt and to create wealth. So when we have these Facebook Lives, when we have these discussions, when we have these little master classes, again, that is my goal, to either help you to eliminate debt or to create wealth. Before I jump into this, let me also tell you that if you have any topic that you would like for me to cover, or any topic that you have questions about, then please send me an email to themoneymentor1@gmail.com. themoneymentor1@gmail.com, and I will put that in my list of things to go over and to do videos about, and possibly make a course about, depending on what it is. So again, hey Richard, how you doing? So again, themoneymentor1@gmail.com if you have anything that you'd like for me to go over or talk about, or if you just have any questions. Again, as your money mentor, my goal is to help you to eliminate debt or to create wealth, which I think both of us can benefit from. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this tonight. Again, we're going to talk about 3 things that mamas taught us about money. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers who are here. If your mother's not here, I definitely pray for you that your holiday was good and as enjoyable as possible. And so, okay, let's go. Let's get into it. So 3 things mamas taught us about money. I don't know about you, but I learned a lot of things about money watching both my mother and my father. They have very different patterns, money patterns. For those who don't know, there are typically 2 different types of money personalities. And there are a couple of things, there are a couple of variations of these, but typically you have either a saver or a spender. And no matter which one your mother is, whether your mother's a saver or a spender, again, these 3 things I think that are very beneficial for us to remember, to learn, to continue to do as those who want to either eliminate debt or who want to create wealth. All right, so here it is. The first thing that my mother, or that mothers taught us about money, is to be a giver. No matter what, it seems like no matter how much we had, no matter how much we didn't have, I don't know a mother alive who was not a giver. In my family, where we grew up, everybody on our block at some point in time was our mother, and so when I grew up in Calumet City, we had on one block, we had my mom, we had my buddy Jesus, his mom. Then if you go down the street, you had Kevin, you had his mom, and Teddy, his mom, and Jason's his mom. All of these mothers at some point in time were our moms, quote unquote, in the sense and we typically called them that if they fed us. And so that was typically, they let us play at their house or swim at their house, or play basketball. But what they all taught us was that there was never a time a time where they were not givers or willing to give, no matter what the cost was to them. And one of the things that we have to learn in the process of eliminating debt or getting wealth is that we have to become givers. Did you know, even millionaires, if you ask most millionaires, one of the most important parts for most millionaires is the philanthropic work or the giving that they do to other causes or to those who are less fortunate, because they understand that giving is the key ingredient to give. So if you are a biblical person, you understand the scripture that says that he gives seed to the sower, which simply means that anytime, if you're a person who is free and who to give and who enjoys giving, then it is easier for you to get, because again, that is a cyclical principle that happens, that as you give, you get. As you give, you get. We live in a culture where sometimes people think that you just have to take, but actually that is not correct. The people who are typically the most generous with their money, with their time, with their information, with their wisdom, with their knowledge, are typically people who never run out. It's those people, or those of us who like to hold on to things very tightly, that typically have an issue with keeping things, because we hold on to too tight, instead of having the heart that says that I'm going to give to somebody who's in need. So whether you have a little or whether you have a lot, you want to practice being a giver. Again, I can remember days watching where we didn't have a whole lot, but somehow, if somebody was in need, my mother would scrounge up some change or would scrounge up some money in order to give it, even if it was just a little bitty change. Y'all know that change that you have in your car in the ashtray, even if it was just that, because that is something that they understood, that as you give, that there is something that God or the universe, however you believe, that has that come back to you because you are a giver. So the first thing we got to remember is, no matter where you are, look for opportunities to give. I'm not going to tell you how much, because that's something that you have to do within your own heart, but look for opportunities to give. Here's the other part about giving, that you cannot consistently be a giver and be a negative person. I'm going to say that again. You cannot consistently be a giver and be a negative person. Why? Because giving puts your heart and your mind in the posture of possibility, of positivity, of wealth, because again, you understand that as you give, that you're going to receive, that you're not so concerned with you and yours that you don't forget that you're supposed to be somebody who gives seed. And money, this is one of the reasons why I say that money, when we talk, people say money is evil. Money is not evil. Money is not evil. The love of money is evil. But if you don't have money, if you don't have money, you don't have seed. And so we talk about, so you want to make sure that, again, that wherever you are, whatever you have, that you put yourself in a position where you're able to give. That's the first thing that Mama always taught us. Give, be a giver. Be a giver. Don't be so tight with your money. Don't be so tight with what you have that you are not willing to give. Because again, that is something that, again, that begins the process or the principle of receiving. So be a giver, number one. The other thing that mothers taught us is that you got to keep a hustle. Listen, you have to keep a hustle. I don't care what you do. You will not go into a home and not see somebody doing hair, somebody doing nails, somebody making some clothes. You got something happens where you got to keep, where somebody's doing some type of babysitting, collecting cans, something, but you always have to keep a hustle. So growing up in my family, it was my mother, even when during a period of time where she was stay-at-home mother, my mother babysat. She was the babysitter for all of the neighborhood kids. And you knew that even though that she wasn't working, that my mother, again, was the babysitter for everybody. So everybody in our neighborhood came to my mother's daycare. And so we would, on Tuesdays, we would go to the zoo. We would play outside, whatever it is that we do. Of course, every day we had to have Bible study or something like that. But my mother understood, and mothers understand, that you got to always keep you a hustle. Keeping you a hustle ensures that no matter where you are financially, you always have the ability to quickly get money or to not have one source of income. And we always want to make sure that we always have more than one source of income. Why? Because if one dries up or one source of income goes away, or if we have a bad week, then we have another source of income that will provide us residual income or some type of income that the other source doesn't get us. So again, if you're working whatever job you're working, what do you do on the side? And sometimes, guys, this does not have to be something elaborate. This could be something as simple, like I said earlier, as, again, collecting cans. It could be something like, what do you do in your community? Do you teach extra classes? Do you might be a nurse by day, but you enjoy exercising, so you teach an exercise class at the local gym. Something on the side that is a hustle that you can do to help bring in additional income. That's the second thing that Mom taught us. The third thing, and probably the most important thing, and if y'all didn't see this in your house, y'all were probably, y'all were not raised right now, I'm kidding. Then you probably are in the minority. But the third thing that Mom taught us about money was to always, and I mean always, keep a stash. What is a stash? A stash is that money that's hidden, that you don't use, that you just put up for a rainy day. That stash was something that Mama always taught us to keep. So whether it was in that bottle of old, where it looks like it's a tub of butter, but it was really just some money, whether it was a thing of an old shoebox that's hidden in the back of the closet, that every time you get dollars or singles or fives or whatever, you put in that box. Or whether it's the quarters that you keep in your, in a bag, whatever it is, but always keep a stash. That's something, again, that when money is low, when times get rough, that you have something that you can go to that should be there, so that when things get, when you get in the pickle, you always can say, hold on, I'll be, Mom be like, hold on, I'll be right back. And all of a sudden she'd come back, he'd be like, where you get that from? Don't worry about it. Just go into the store and get what you need to get and do what you need to do. So again, that was the third thing. So again, the three things were, number one, be a giver. Be a giver. Always be a giver. Number two, keep a hustle. And then number three, always have a stash. If we can remember to do those things, then I can promise you, I can guarantee you, as always, that financially we will be in much better positions, because again, we remember the three of the things that Mama taught us about money. Cool. I hope that helped you. Also, before we go, let me to remind you, two things this week. Y'all know every week I run a special. So this week I got two of them. Number one is, if you have never bought my book, yes, I wrote a book. It's called How to Move Up in Your Corporate Career. You can get it off of Amazon.com. Again, it's called How to Move Up in Your Corporate Career. Hey, Triana, how you doing? How to Move Up in Your Corporate Career. You can get that off of Amazon today. Hey, Tiffany Lennox, how you doing? Hey, Shan, you can get that off of Amazon.com today. Again, it's called How to Move Up in Your Corporate Career. I wrote a book a year ago. You can buy that. This week's special is, if you've never taken my 30-day money mentor makeover, then I'm running a special this week that you can get that for $39.99, regularly $79.99. You can get that for this week only. That's going to be our special. With it, what you get is every day I send you an email with instructions on what you can do to help you either eliminate debt, to create wealth, to organize your money, your financial house better, so you are in a better position to take full advantage of what you want to do with your life. All right? So that's it. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.